A thick mist hung over the small coastal town as the crowd gathered at the marine park. They had come to see the famous orca show, led by the beloved trainer Jessi Radcliffe. For years, Jessi had amazed audiences with her trust and bond with the massive creature she called Luna. She stepped onto the platform, smiling, as Luna circled in the deep blue pool. The music began, and the water shimmered under the lights. But something in Luna's movement seemed off. Her sleek body cut through the water faster than usual, her eyes fixed on Jessi in a way that made the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. The first jump was flawless, the crowd roaring with delight. But on the second trick, Luna refused the signal. Instead, she hovered, motionless just below the surface. Jessi's hand trembled slightly as she gave the cue again. That was when Luna surged upward, sending a wave crashing over the platform. The audience gasped. Some laughed nervously, thinking it was part of the act. Jessi tried to keep calm, but Luna's tail slapped the water with a force that sprayed the front row and rattled her composure. Then, in a sudden blur, Luna dove deep and reappeared behind Jessi. The trainer spun just in time to see the orca's jaws part. Then everything went black. Screams filled the air, the audience frozen in shock. Park staff rushed forward, the show cut short. Hours later, a shaky video began spreading online, showing the moment of chaos. People claimed Jessi had been dragged under and never resurfaced. But as reporters swarmed the park, officials revealed a strange truth. Jessi was alive. She had been pulled underwater, but not harmed. Luna had released her instantly, as if acting out some unknown warning. And no one could explain what the orca had been trying to say.
Rain lashed against the glass walls of the Marine Park staff room as Jessi sat wrapped in a blanket, her damp hair clinging to her face. The incident had left her shaken, but what unsettled her most was the look in Luna's eyes before the attack. Wide, unblinking, almost desperate. She replayed the moment again and again in her mind. The park's director stood nearby, assuring the gathered media that it had been a miscommunication during the routine. But Jessi knew it was more than that. Orcas didn't simply forget years of training. That night, she couldn't sleep. The roar of the crowd and the sudden darkness under the water haunted her. At dawn, she returned to the park, the walkway still wet from the storm. Luna floated quietly at the far end of the pool, her massive body barely moving. As Jessi approached, the orca swam forward, pressing her head gently against the edge. It wasn't aggression. It was something else. Something almost human. Jessi knelt down, speaking softly, but Luna only circled once and dived, disappearing into the shadows of the tank. Later that day, Jessi overheard two maintenance workers talking in hushed voices. One claimed that strange noises had been recorded overnight, deep, rumbling clicks and whistles that didn't match Luna's usual patterns. Another swore he'd seen Luna acting agitated, swimming in tight, frantic loops. The director dismissed it as animal stress from the storm, but the unease in the staff's eyes told a different story. By evening, social media was ablaze again, fueled by rumors that the attack had been deliberate, a sign of rebellion. Jessi tried to shut it out, but one question kept rising in her mind. If Luna wasn't trying to harm her, then what was she trying to warn her about? And why did it feel like something far more dangerous was coming?
The following morning, the marine park was swarming with reporters, their cameras aimed at every corner. Jessi avoided them, slipping through the staff entrance to reach Luna's pool. The orca was already moving restlessly, her fins slicing the water in quick, tense motions. Jessi tossed her a fish, but Luna ignored it, releasing a low, mournful sound that echoed through the enclosure. It wasn't just noise, it was a message. Jessi felt it in her chest, a vibration that stirred something primal inside her. In the control room, she asked the audio technician to replay the overnight recordings. The screen flickered, and the room filled with strange clicks and whistles. The technician slowed them down, and a chilling pattern emerged. Repeated sequences, almost like words. "It's not random," he whispered. "She's trying to tell us something." Jesse's pulse quickened, but before they could analyze further, the director entered, ordering the files deleted, calling it unnecessary speculation. His tone was sharp, final. That evening, Jessie lingered after closing, standing by the pool as the last of the staff left. The park was silent, except for the rhythmic churn of the water. Luna surfaced, her dark eye locking onto Jessie's. Slowly, the orca lifted her head, revealing a jagged scar on her side Jessie had never noticed before. She reached out, fingers brushing the water, and Luna emitted another long, deep call, this time louder, urgent. A sudden crash echoed from the maintenance area. Jessie turned sharply, but saw nothing. When she looked back, Luna was gone, vanished into the depths. The water rippled, disturbed by her swift movement. In that moment, Jessie realized Luna wasn't just warning her, she was warning everyone. Something was hidden here in the park, and if she didn't uncover it soon, she might not get another chance.
The next day, Jessie arrived before sunrise, determined to find answers. The park was eerily quiet, its pathways glistening with dew. She slipped past the locked gates of the maintenance area, the place where she'd heard the crash the night before. The smell hit her first, a sharp, metallic tang mixed with something foul. Inside, stacks of crates lined the walls, each marked with shipping codes she didn't recognize. One crate had its lid partially open. Jessie hesitated, then pried it wider. Her breath caught. Inside was a large metal cage, stained and rusted, with chains still attached. It was far too small for any marine mammal to move freely. Next to it lay a sealed barrel, labeled with a chemical warning. She stepped back, her heart pounding. This wasn't just about Luna. Something darker was happening behind the scenes. A sudden noise made her freeze. Footsteps. Jessie ducked behind a stack of boxes as the director entered with two men she didn't recognize. Their voices were low, but urgent. "The delivery is late. If the inspection happens before we move them, it's over." The director snapped back, "Then make sure the inspection never happens." Jessie's pulse thudded in her ears. As they left, she slipped out and ran straight to Luna's pool. The orca surfaced instantly, chuffing air in sharp bursts. Jessie knelt, whispering, "I know." Luna circled once, then dove deep, returning moments later with something clamped gently in her mouth, a torn piece of fabric, soaked and frayed. Jessie recognized it instantly. It matched the uniforms the park's night staff wore. Her stomach tightened. Someone had been in that pool, and whatever had happened to them, Luna had seen it all. Jessie now understood. This wasn't a random act. It was a warning of something deadly lurking beneath the surface.
That night, the marine park felt like a different place. Empty, yet heavy with a strange tension. Jessie stayed hidden in the shadows near Luna's pool, her eyes scanning the walkways. The director and the two strangers returned, carrying tools and thick ropes. They moved with purpose, heading toward the maintenance area. Jessie followed at a distance, her footsteps silent on the wet concrete. From behind a stack of crates, she watched them open one of the sealed barrels. A harsh chemical smell filled the air. Inside, she saw containers marked with the biohazard symbol. The men spoke in hurried whispers about disposing of evidence before morning. Her blood ran cold. This wasn't just animal mistreatment. It was something that could poison the entire marine life in the park. A sudden splash erupted from Luna's pool. The men froze, exchanging uneasy glances. Luna had slammed her body against the tank wall, sending waves spilling over. The noise gave Jessie the cover she needed. She darted forward, grabbed her phone, and began recording. But as she did, one of the strangers spotted her. "Hey!" he shouted, rushing toward her. Jessie bolted toward the exit, the pounding of boots close behind. Just as one man reached for her, Luna let out a deafening cry, a sound so sharp and deep it startled him into stumbling. Jessi escaped through the staff gate and into the night. By morning, the footage was online, spreading faster than the fabricated attack story ever had. Authorities arrived within hours, seizing the barrels and shutting down the park for investigation. As the last truck rolled away, Jessi stood at Luna's pool. The orca surfaced, watching her with calm, steady eyes. This time, Jessi understood. Luna hadn't been dangerous. She had been the only one trying to save them all.